Hi, everyone. Um, Happy National Poetry Month. It's April. I'm Jenna Goldsmith, and I am a poet living and working in Rockford, Illinois. I want to send a shout out to the Midwest Writing Center, who does wonderful programming for the Quad Cities and around the Midwest. I wish I lived closer because I see all of the incredible stuff that Midwest Writing Center is up to and often can't drive in, but I'm watching from afar and I'm a huge supporter. So thank you to them for giving me the opportunity to read to you today for National Poetry Month. So I'm going to read a couple of poems. Um, One of them is from my chapbook from 2022, Title IX, which was published by the Teaching Press of Illinois State University, Press 254. I highly recommend supporting them and looking into their incredible chapbooks, as well as their new prize, their chapbook prize, Spoonfuls, which just announced its first winners of that chapbook contest. And they'll be continuing to do that contest. So huge supporter of Press 254. Anytime that we can get students involved in the publication process, I think it's a good thing. So I'm going to be reading to you a poem from that chapbook, and then I'll read a brand new poem that isn't anywhere else just yet. So two poems today. Um, the poem from Title IX is called Let's Contribute to a Community Free of Sexual Misconduct. After an email from President on 18 November 2020. Just a gentle reminder that we each of us have a personal and shared responsibility to contribute to a community free of sexual misconduct and harassment. A gentle reminder that almost all employees are considered responsible employees and must report any allegation of sexual misconduct or discrimination or harassment, but some employees are not considered responsible employees and thus have no responsibility to do the right thing, and in fact won't, and likely don't, and indeed didn't. A gentle reminder that this is not a reminder, this is a request, and also not a request so much as a demand. Responsible employee has certain rules, and those rules can be found at this link. And if you are not a responsible employee, please don't click on this link. Instead, simply refer to nothing. Our values are not your values, and you are a valued member of our community. A gentle reminder that I am the president and have 3 daughters. This means I am writing in subtext, and the subtext is that if you harass my daughters, I will fuck you up. My daughters go to a different university. With that said, I am committed to policies that seek to end sexual misconduct and harassment against daughters and will, if you trust me, personally redirect your report to the Equal Opportunity Office. A gentle reminder not to investigate an alleged incident yourself, particularly if you are the victim of the incident and possess every detail. We offer an office that does that for you and several that don't. You will never be asked for evidence, for we have no use for it. You will be the alleged with no proof. If we built a metaphor with a house at the bottom of a hillside and a mudslide after a storm, where she is the mudslide and you are the house, and the mudslide is full of rock and tree parts and mud, and you, the home at the bottom of the failing hillside, are unequivocally destroyed. But the destruction is really only on your side because thankfully this university believes in restorative justice. The mudslide will get help, and each of its parts, rock, tree, mud, ever so gently lifted back to their exact, rightful, precarious places before the storm that caused their deterioration and eventual destruction of the home that is you. A gentle reminder that I care about Title IX, the rolling back of Title IX regulations, the rolling front of Title IX regulations, the ebb and flow, the rolling side to side, the roiling sea of fair and full investigation, the raining down of impartiality, the weather of it all, sometimes a storm, sometimes a drought, the precipitous precipitation, due process reports, sexual misconduct supports harassment, federal state law, accused, plaintiff, paper tiger, research, Wednesday, November 18th, 2020, 17:01:58 Pacific Standard Time, President's Office, dear, dearest community member. Join me. Be so gentle with me. Your commitment, dear community member, is essential and very appreciated.com. Please call this number if you are sexually harassed. Please call this number if you are sexual harassment. I encourage all of those who have been sexually harassed to speak to someone, and I encourage all of those who are sexual harassment to speak to someone. Your commitment too is essential to this effort and very much appreciated. Okay, second and last poem I'm going to read is called Excuses. The lesbian pop singer claims she doesn't feel alive without a crush. One ex draws your portrait, now you know who she is. Another covets your lips. I'll tell you who she is, but first say if girls surprise you. One way is to avoid orientation. Sham, search, let's give in, but we don't marry this very second, so as exes, we won't run into each other at the Y. That's a pretty good a reason as any, but thank you again so much for listening, and happy National Poetry Month.